Welcome home. The Immortal John Hancock, and I have a very special video today. Today I'm going to be talking about Nintendo's very first console, the TV Game 6. The very first version of their very first console, the white version, and I'm happy to unbox this, test it, and talk about it on my channel. Let's check it out. Alright, so here we go, the very first console that Nintendo made. The TV Game 6, and this is a beauty. This is the white version. This is before they did a revision of it. And on the back here, it doesn't say Nintendo much on this box. You have to turn it around, and it says it right there. And this came out, and it was 9,800 yen, about the equivalent of about $88 now. So I want to show that. Box is in pretty good shape. A little beat up, not too bad. Not too bad. It happens, you know, these things get wear and tear over time, but I'm very happy and honored to have this game console in my collection. I'm very excited about this. So I'm going to open this up here. Trying to be careful as possible. There you go. Probably a warranty card. And here is the manual. And CTG6S. And that is the very first version of the Nintendo's TV Game 6. There is an orange version that came out later, and it was a revision, and it had some additional fixes, and I'll talk about that a little bit. So we take this out very carefully. First off, there you go. How cool is that? Nintendo branded RF switch. That's cool. With the bag. And I'm trying to take this out. Trying to be careful. And this is the unit. Pretty good shape. Paddles are fairly small. There is an updated version with bigger paddles. And on the back side here, always good to check the compartments. So there's the battery compartment. It's fairly clean, and it takes 6 C batteries. I recommend using newer ones. I don't recommend using used, and that's the only way to power this unit. On the updated version of this unit, there was a power source. You could use a wall charger, and the updated version of this is orange. This is the harder to find off-white version. There's a couple differences. The paddles here, there's no catch. You can just roll them forever. And they are digital. This is not analog. And so that was a problem when doing the higher speeds on the unit, because it just didn't work. It was too fast. And so this is more of a historical importance rather than functionality of this unit. This is Nintendo's very first attempt at making these, and so they learn from their mistakes. I mean, I'm just so ecstatic of having this and holding this in my collection. It's hard to even explain how I feel right now. I thought I'd never have this in my collection, and it means a lot that I have this particular unit in my collection. I've wanted this a long time. So let's check it out. Alright, now I don't read Japanese, but I'm using a site called Before Mario, and it really helps me out with understanding what these buttons are. The 4 switches at the top of the control panel are racket size of left and right player, up is small and down is big. So we're going to start with big. Speed after bounce on the racket, up is high and down is low. And game mode selection, up is doubles, down is singles. The 3 switches at the bottom control panel are power switch. That's why it Has that red underneath. You can turn it on. And up is on, down is off. The reset button. And game type selection, volleyball, tennis, hockey. Alright, on the other side, let me turn this over. I forgot to show this, but right here, it has two options. You can turn it to channel 1. Oh, sorry. On the bottom here of the unit, it gives options to turn it to channel 1 or channel 2. I'm using a toothpick. It's the easiest way I found to switch it. I have kind of big hands, and so right there, and I'm pointing into this right here, I just use this toothpick to switch it to channel 2. I'm just going to try channel 2. It's a little bit easier. I find most TVs are default on channel 2 or 3 or 4. I turned it to channel 2. No reason in particular, but wanted to show that. Started on channel 2. Now, it did come with an original switch for TVs. Use these, much better signal, and plop that on. And here we go. We're going to test this sucker with 6 brand new C batteries. I recommend those. And a C, does this still work? You know, this is the part of the video where I'm supposed to show you this thing working, and I'm not going to do that because it's not working. Really bummed about it. Long story. So I tried this on several TV sets, and I'm aware that it has to be channel 96. That's one thing that I didn't mention earlier, is that for this to work in the United States, it has to be channel 96. And I tried several television sets. I have like 6 or 7 CRTs. I even tried the old VCR trick and tried to get that to work. Nothing. Then I noticed that this had holes in the back for some micro tuning. And right here, there is a spot. Right here, there's a spot on the unit that you can adjust it. And that's sometimes to get a better picture. It's really cool that this has it on the console and accessible right without, you know, unscrewing anything. I did get a picture, but the battery compartment moved a little bit, and since then I've tried fiddling with it probably a couple hours and cannot get it to work. So I'm really bummed. Like, so the thing is these things are old. This is 40 plus years old. 40, you know, 40 going on 42. And so these things aren't made to last. They won't last forever. They won't last, you know. And so if you have something in your collection, it's good to test it. I've talked about that before on my channel. You have to test it. And, you know, these things can be fixed, though. It's simple electronics. I know that there's some people out there that can possibly look at this. And, you know, I'm interested in getting it repaired because to me this is special. I'm glad it's in my collection. But, you know, I would like it to work. And so simple electronics need to be repaired, and I think that it'll be able to be fixed. Who knows? And, you know, I'm doing a shout out here because, you know, I want to have a working unit in my collection. So there you go. That's a long story short. I would like to thank Tozai Exports for providing me this unit for me to talk about on my channel. Thank you so much. I'm a big and avid fan of vintage Nintendo items. I love Game & Watch. I love the vintage Pong stuff, and so I look forward to pursuing more items. Also, check out the link below if you're interested in pursuing imports, as Tozai Imports and Exports eBay store has some wonderful items. They carry a lot of awesome, great, unique, specific Japanese imports, and so this is something that, you know, I'd like to pursue more. I don't have a ton of imports in my collection, so it's worth checking out. Also, there's a website below that gave me some information on the TV game 6 called Before Mario, and so I have a link below to that as well. It was pretty insightful and helped me do this video. So I just want to thank everybody for continuing to tune in to my humble channel as I march towards 80,000 subs. Having a lot of fun, especially with this vintage stuff. This is kind of my forte that I love talking about it and getting excited about testing it and unboxing it. It's a lot of fun. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the immortal John Hancock. Thank you, and you take care.